Hello and welcome to this multi-part series on the HPE Storage PowerShell Toolkit. This presentation is going to talk about downloading and installing this module. Now there'll be additional presentations about how to use the module to connect to various different platforms, but let's go ahead and focus on this one first. You're going to notice that this new PowerShell Toolkit is available via GitHub. It's on github.com/hewlett-packard/HPE Storage PowerShell Toolkit. Now I should note that this is the beta version of the code base. You will find this toolkit will be posted to both the My Software link inside of HP as well as to the PS Gallery once it's exited the beta period. You will know this because the beta period will expire and we will sign the digital code once that is expired, and it will be on PS Gallery. So the digitally signed code will be updated to PS Gallery and you'll be able to download it very easily from there. But let's go ahead and show you, if you want to play with this early, let's go ahead and show you how to get a copy of this code right now. You can go to Code and download the zip. And once you've downloaded this zip, let's go ahead and copy it to the desktop. And this is a very important step. You've got to go and right-click it and go to Unblock the zip file, because anything you download from the web like this is going to be automatically blocked, and if you if you expand the archive, all the individual files will be blocked as well, which means that when you try and run these commands in PowerShell, every one of them will fail. And let's go ahead and extract this. And again, you can do the unblock and the extract via PowerShell as well, but I'm just doing it here for the brevity of the presentation. Now another problem is that GitHub, when you download, will automatically create a folder named with the branch after it. So let's go ahead and take that off. In fact, let's bring this down all the way to HPE Storage. And let's copy this to the desktop. And of course, just to make things neat and clean, let's clean up our old files and delete those as well. Now, from PowerShell, I should be able to take a look at my working directory and go to Desktop, HPE Storage, and do a directory listing. This is what the new PowerShell Toolkit looks like. Now I know this looks complex because there's a bunch of PSDs, so there's a bunch of modules in here, but in actuality, the master module is the HPE Storage module. The reason it's been separated like this is these are separate toolkits that have been combined and incorporated. Now the reason we do this is that it would inundate people with a lot of commands that do not apply to their environment if we simply made them all available at once. So what we do is we use the import module, HPE Storage, and once you've imported that one module, do a get command -module, HPE Storage, so you can get a list of the commands. You'll notice that it's a very short list, and the reason this list is so short is we want to make sure that people understand this is all about connecting to your appropriate array. Once you've connected to your device, then it will load all the commands that are specific to that device. I don't want to have to filter through a whole bunch of MSA commands if I'm working on a Nimble storage, or a whole bunch of Nimble commands if I'm working on a Primera or an Electra 9000. So we've made sure that it doesn't do that. So to get information on how to connect, we do get help connect-HPE SAN, and you can see a simple synopsis of how this works. Now notice we've simplified this greatly. It's connect-HPE SAN --array name or IP address, and you got to put the IP address of the array in, then the array type, and then the credential. So you're going to need to put a credential in. However, if you do not ask for a credential, it will ask for a username and password. This makes it so that it will automatically, you can use automation and modify things as well. Using Microsoft valid credentials will work here. So let's go ahead and show you some examples of what these commands look like. If I do a -example, you can see, let's go to the top here. The first example would be connecting to a Nimble type array, which would either be a Nimble or be an Electra 6000. So if you simply type connect, put in the IP address, put in the array type, hit enter, it'll ask you for your credentials, or you can feed it a credential object, and then it will successfully connect you to the array. Now, once you've connected the array, you can then get commands for that array. In an MSA, it works exactly the same way. You simply run the connection exactly the same method. The return will look slightly different, but again, it'll work the same. For a Primera, an Electra 9000, or even a 3PAR, notice it has two different methods of connection. It uses an SSH method and it uses an API method. That is because some commands are only available via SSH and some are only available for API and some are available through both. In this case, if we find that you have the PowerShell SSH module installed, we will use it and automatically connect via SSH as well. So again, for the 3PAR, the Primera, and the Electra 9000 systems, you may want to have the POSH module installed, the POSH-SSH module installed. Now, let me show you how to get that module if you don't have it installed. You want to do a find module, POSH-SSH, and you'll see that this module is out on PS Gallery. And in fact, this would be the exact same method you would use to find the HPE storage one. We would do a find module, HPE storage, star, because it'll take wildcards. And you will see we can find the module. Now this is the old version of the module, which is 3.1. The new version of the module hasn't posted yet, so you're still going to have to go to GitHub to get this newer version. However, it will be up here eventually. Now, let's go ahead and go back to the POSH one. Now that I've found it on the PS Gallery site, I can actually choose to install the module. Once I've installed the module, I can choose to import the module. Now that it's imported, I'm able to actually use SSH to connect to that type of array. So now we've seen how to actually download the PowerShell module, the master module, how to connect to the different type of arrays, and there'll be separate videos for each of those, how the normal method of installing a module should look like, which is find-module, or how you can actually do it through GitHub directly if you want to participate in the beta as well. And thank you for your time. Again, you can find my information at chris.leonetti@hpe.com, or you can find the GitHub for the HPE Storage PowerShell Toolkit at this location on this GitHub site. Note, any conversation about the toolkit is just as easily to put in the toolkit as it is to email me. So I'd rather have it in the toolkit's GitHub site, because that way we can actually respond to it, because if you have a question, likely other people do as well. That optional PowerShell SSH module is there as well if you wanted to look at the GitHub of who writes that and how it's written. Thank you for your time.